am bored. What should I do?
Ah, ich weiß.
Get Germanized.
Hey there and welcome guys. I'm Meister Lenz and you're watching Get Germanized. Don't come to Germany if you're this kind of Ausländer. As you probably know, Ausländer means foreigner, but this video is not made to insult anyone, to offend anyone, not made to be racist. This video is just made for those kind of people that probably don't fly very well here in Germany. Let's start with the really bad ones first. Don't come to Germany if you're a neo-Nazi. We don't need you here. Just because back then in World War II something happened here doesn't mean it will happen anytime soon, and we don't want you here at all. Like, go away, go home. I've heard that there are lots of neo-Nazis in America and probably in other countries as well. We have some here in Germany and we don't even want ours, so we don't need new ones. So F off and stay out of the country. Thank you. Furthermore, we don't need religious extremists, like of any kind, any religion. Like, religion is fine, but don't put it in other people's faces. Like, don't say, oh, this is the only one religion. If you don't believe in this, you're a bad person. Or if you don't believe in this, you will go to hell. If you don't believe in this, I will blow myself up in front of you. And stuff like that. We don't need that here at all. Like, you won't make any friends, like, if you preach and preach and preach about your religion to people here in Germany. Like, I don't see the point anyways. Like, if it's really the true religion, then people should see it, right? Then you shouldn't have to talk about it all the time. But apparently that's not the case. Well, just take your shit somewhere else, not to Germany, thank you. Another kind of personality that doesn't really go well here in Germany is World War I or pre-World War I fanatic. Because I've met quite a lot of them on the internet. Some of them are completely nice people, but others, like, the only thing they can talk about is World War I or the pre-World War I history. And they expect me to know because I'm from Germany and I grew up here. But let me tell you this, most people here in Germany won't know what you're talking about at all. Like, we know about World War II and that's pretty much it, because that gets drilled into us in, like, I don't know, I guess by now from elementary school onwards until we're dead. But apart from World War II, we don't really know that much about German history, like, which is a shame, I guess, but still. If you talk to someone about World War I constantly and expect him to know about anything, don't get your hopes up, because we won't. Unless they have studied history or are just history fanatics, like yourself. But that won't happen, very often at least. And also, don't come to Germany if you don't want to learn the language. If you just come here to, I don't know, live here and have a good time for the rest of your life without learning the language, without adapting at all, you will have a hard time finding a job at all here in Germany. And if people, like, notice that you don't speak the language, like, for example, during a job interview, obviously, like, even if you just speak in English all the time, that might fly in some companies. Like, if you're an engineer, obviously, and want to work, like, at an international company, that's fine. You will probably get along with the others talking English. They will accept that. People won't mind. And those multinational companies are more likely to accept English anyways. But if you want a normal job, for example, even just in a bakery or a supermarket somewhere, you won't be able to work there without a decent knowledge of German. And by a decent knowledge, I don't mean Hallo, Guten Tag, and that kind of stuff. You need to be able to have, like, a little basic conversation at least. If you're not able to do that, you will probably find it very difficult to make a living here in Germany. That said, also don't come to Germany if you expect everything just to fall into place by itself, because it won't. Especially when you're, like, easily frustrated with bureaucracy and stuff, then Germany is not the place for you, because we got a shitload of that. Oh god, I myself are annoyed most of the time with German bureaucracy. It is just so much. Even for just buying a train ticket online, you have to choose if you want to sit somewhere, you have to enter your credit card details, you have to choose what card you want to identify yourself with if you pre-buy the ticket online. Like, you have to show them that it's really you and so on and so forth. And there are, like, just a million of options you can choose from. And the same with other stuff, like even just going to the foreigner's office or whatever you call it in English. When you register yourself in a new town, that is just such a hassle, and if you don't speak the language it's even more difficult. And don't get me started on your tax declaration. No, no, no. Next up, don't come to Germany if you're not willing to adapt at all. Like if you say, oh, I'm just gonna bring my culture and don't care at all for German culture and just ignore every tradition, every habit, every custom that Germans have developed over the last 200 years, well then you probably won't make many friends here, because even though Germans don't really admit to it that often, we like our traditions. Like we're pretty like set in our ways, and when we know something a certain way, we want it a certain way, and if you're not even able to adapt a little bit to that, well then don't come here. Also, please don't come to Germany if you think Germany is just one big Oktoberfest all the time. Bavaria is not Germany, and Oktoberfest is just once a year. Thank you. Goodbye. Lederhosen and dirndl? Well, probably not all that common in most German households. Don't come to Germany if all you want to talk about is World War II, because we have talked about effing World War II for our whole lives already, in school, and then later another school, the uni, whatever, wherever you go, wherever you get educated, you hear about World War II, and all foreigners want to know is about World War II. It is just so annoying after a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, of course, if you come here and ask a question about whatever, World War II, Hitler and Nazis and whatnot, no one will be like, oh, that again, or like, go away. We will answer, we will be friendly, and if you just ask every now and then, it will be probably fine. But if that's all you can talk about, then we will probably be very annoyed after a while and try to avoid you, because yeah, it's just a topic that comes out of our ears by now. Don't come to Germany if you can't live without food from your own country. It is possible to get imported food here, but if you're looking for a specific brand and if you can't live without that, you might have difficulties finding it. Especially in smaller towns and villages, you will have a hard time finding anything in the imported sections there. Like, it's just so small what you get there. So don't expect to get, I don't know, scorpion marmalade or something like that. We probably just don't have that. Don't come to Germany if you want to teach English without a diploma. You probably will do alright, like with little jobs every here and there, if you're an English native speaker. But if you intend to teach here in Germany as a full-time teacher, then without a diploma you will probably have a hard time finding a job. Because Germans just love their qualifications and their diplomas. Like, some people have like 5 diplomas just so that they can put more things in front of their names, and they're all like, ho ho ho, I got diplomas, and companies are like, ho ho ho, he got diplomas, and then they are happy together for the rest of their lives, even though they probably don't know as much as they think they do. Anyways, I know that is stupid, but if you don't have a qualification for teaching, or that pretty much goes for any job, then you will probably have a hard time finding a job here in that field. Don't come to Germany if you can't live without sunshine, because because that is an interesting one. I've looked that up actually. Berlin has 68 days of sunshine annually, while Alicante in Spain has 119 days of sunshine each year. And to give another example, the Sunshine State, Florida, has about 230 sunny days annually. So you will probably not be the happiest person running around if you come from over 200 days of sunshine a year and then go to ever so overcast Germany. And that is also why Germans, as soon as they see the sun peeking out of the cloudy skies, they just jump on their bikes and get out and do a bike tour with everyone they know, because it can take a while until they see the sun again. Next up, don't come to Germany if you're loud and obnoxious. There's just nothing worse on a bus or train than someone who just sits there talking loud, rude shit to their friends, like, oh yeah, and I then fucked her, and then gets on their phone or something like that, and then plays music, It makes me so angry just thinking about those kind of people. We have them in Germany as well, but if you're one of them from another country, just don't come here because, well, I hate you. Don't come to Germany if you expect to hear only German music on the radio. Even though we are in Germany here, we like English music. And so there's a lot of English music playing here on the radio. We have a big German music scene, obviously. I think the most successful German music or kind of music is Schlager, which is some kind of German folk music with a beat. I don't like it very much, but it's very successful here. And yeah, well, we have certain stations that play mostly just that stuff, but usually you will hear lots and lots of English songs. So don't come here if you can't handle that, if that's possible that someone can't handle that. Don't come to Germany if you think bringing your own kitchen when renting in a flat or house is weird, because that is a real possibility here. People take their kitchens with them because they have bought them when they moved in, and then they take them out and with them again. And then you will like look around the flat when you first get there and be like, oh, what? Where's the kitchen, Mr. Businessman? Where's the kitchen? And Mr. Businessman will be like, ah, you're in a German house. Here's no kitchen. Die Küche fehlt. You must die kaufen. You gotta buy it. And you probably will have to buy it. But once you have a kitchen, you can always take it around. But doesn't that make sense to you? Well, that's Germany. Don't come to Germany if you have very thin skin. Like, because we Germans don't really like beating around the bush. Or also, how we say it, den heißen Brei herumreden. To talk around the hot mash. If that makes any sense to you, it means beating around the bush. We are really direct, and that might come across as rude sometimes, but it really isn't intended to be rude. It's just that we like to be straight with people and we expect you to be straight with us. It's not all like nicey all the time. It's more like okay, done. And not like then hours later, no, we don't fly like that at all. Next up, don't come to Germany if you're easily offended or if you can't like accept nudity on TV, because we got a lot of nudity on TV. Even a show like an educational show called Galileo on one of our TV stations, which airs around 7 p.m. in the evening, shows like breasts and stuff all the time. No censored version there, just bare breasts, and we really don't care. Like, we couldn't care less. I mean, come on guys, in other countries they show the most brutal things and then they censor a little nipple. Oh, a nipple. Oh. And they have so much profanity on TV, but they censor a nipple. Oh. But talking about profanity, we even had a commercial once, like it was for some kind of cold cut, I think, or even marmalade or so, and there they said F the diet, and we really didn't care because we don't grow up with English curse words or just any foreign curse words, and so we don't really think lots about them. Like, they don't really have the same meaning to us. I guess I understand if it's bad in other countries. We would probably not have commercials where they curse a lot in German, but get ready to hear a lot of English curse words, even like in conversations. Your friends, German friends, might say fuck it or something like that. They just use fuck a lot and just say it every now and then. So if you can't handle that, if you think like, oh no, then don't come here, because that's just what we're like. Don't come to Germany if you have a problem with alcohol. A serious problem, I mean. I think there's even a statistic that says every third German abuses alcohol in some kind of way. Meaning you will have a hard time avoiding alcohol when hanging out with German friends, or like just in Germany in general, I guess. Of course there will be also a lot of people who just don't drink alcohol. My friend Kevin doesn't drink alcohol at all. I have another friend that doesn't drink alcohol at all. I'm just warning you, it might be harder than you think avoiding alcohol in Germany if you really have a problem, if you just can't even see a bottle of alcohol, a bottle of beer even, then it might be hard. Don't come to Germany if you can't stand cold weather. It might not be as cold as in other countries, but it's still pretty cold. During winter the temperatures can fall below -10 degrees Celsius, which is about 14 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. So yeah, that's pretty cold. And our streets have even ice on them at some point, and or snow. So what I'm trying to say is, if you can't handle icy roads, if you're a bad driver, or if you just can't stand the cold in general, probably don't come here. Don't come to Germany if you're overly fond of lethal animals, because we don't really have any. Yeah, I wonder if there are people who are overly fond of lethal animals. Good job choosing this one, Dominic. What I'm trying to say is that unless you count in wild hogs, we don't really have any that dangerous animals that you will encounter on a regular basis, like for example sharks or land sharks, drop bears, all that kind of stuff you get in other countries. Don't come to Germany if you think that having 2 separate blankets and 2 separate mattresses as a married couple is ridiculous, because that is standard here. Last but not least, don't come to Germany if you, well, don't like German food. There is just a lot of meat here as well, and even though we have a big vegetarian and vegan community in Germany, most food is pretty hearty. So if you're not a fan of that, or just a really picky eater, you might not find it tolerable. So those were the people we don't really need here in Germany, or that will have a hard time here in Germany, that might not enjoy Germany. I would like to hear your opinion now. What kind of people do you not want in your own country? What do you think wouldn't fly in your country? Like, do you have customs, traditions that are really like special that foreigners probably wouldn't understand? If so, let me know in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear about them. And like I said before, don't get offended by this video. This is just, well, something I think is necessary to warn certain kinds of people before they come here, because they might expect Germany to be completely different from what it's like in their heads, and why not tell them before they come here and yeah, are disappointed, right? So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel for weekly videos. Also, you can have a look at all these little networks you can see on there, like Facebook, Twitter, and so on and so on. And you can check out that little orange P down there. It will take you to my Patreon page. What Patreon is, oh god, I don't even want to talk about it anymore, because you all know. If you don't know, just click it or find the link to it in the video description. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.